all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow-focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955-0966 or 977-844-141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Beer Jungle.
Thank you so much and welcome to Prime TV's News. To begin, we look at the headlines. State security officers find nothing after searching Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's house. Sylvia Masewo has been expelled from Patriotic Front PF. George Nyendwa is Lusaka's new mayor. And in foreign news, Mozambique lawyer Sistak assassinated in Maputo. These and other interesting stories coming up. with the details, my name is Daniel Tonga. State security officers have conducted a thorough search at Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's houses for incriminating documents and have found nothing. The search comes after President Edgar Lungu directed the police to investigate Mr. Hichilema on a statement that he controls state intelligence system. The police officers in plain clothes searched UPND Mr. Hichilema's house in Kablonga and Kasama residence. After a thorough search, the police did not find any incriminating documents linking Mr. Hichilema to his statement. Mr. Hichilema's places were fully surrounded by heavy paramilitary police officers who had accompanied plainclothes police officers. Martha Namanje brings us more in this following report.
His recent remarks that he controls the state intelligence security system has not gone without reaction. In the early hours of Tuesday, state police surrounded UPND President Hakainde Hichilema's Kablonga residence in search of classified government document. 3 plainclothes officers conducting the search in the presence of his lawyer and some party officials made sure they left no stone unturned. The search was later extended to his new Kasama residence. Following his statement that he controls the state's intelligence security system, the police have moved in to search Hakainde Hichilema's residence. They started from Kablonga residence and they are at Kasama residence where the search has been conducted. We are yet to find out what the police will say from the search.
I'm referring everything to the police spokesperson. Yeah. So you don't know the reason why you're under there is a search warrant. Yeah, where did you find it on your papers? I think it's indicated here.
They're looking for stolen government documents, property. You know I don't steal myself. I've never been a thief. So we have no stolen property from anybody. Zero. We don't steal. We're not cultured that way. We never steal from anybody, let alone from Zambians. Because we know government is Zambians, let alone Zambians. We want to serve the Zambians. We don't want to steal from them. We will never steal from them. That's a distinction we bring to public office. So there is nothing. There was never going to be anything because we don't steal.
Having conducted a 3.5-hour search at his Kasama residence, the police left Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's residence. Martha Namanje, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema has challenged Zambians to denounce the infringement on their freedom. Speaking to journalists shortly after police searched his Kasama residence, Mr. Hichilema expressed sadness that the democracy and the right for citizens to assemble and express themselves have been compromised, resulting into harassment of innocent citizens by the government in power. Mr. Hichilema says everyone has the right of their own opinion and should not be harassed for having divergent views that are different from that of the president. He has urged all politicians and ordinary citizens, regardless of political affiliation, to work together and unite the nation.
Getting smaller and smaller. We all know that. We also know that it's not just media freedoms. We are talking about basic human rights. We are talking about the freedom of assembly. I don't know if you are aware that we have been restricted from thanking the people who voted for us. We notified the police that we want to thank the people, and we've been denied our basic constitutional freedom. Freedom of assembly, freedom of association, freedom of movement. If they deny you the right to talk to your colleagues in another part of the country, it means you will not travel there. So it means they've restricted your movements. And I think that's the problem we have in the country. And so the space for media, for human rights, for other, if you like, natural and universal rights is being restricted, is being conscripted like a python, squeezing its prey.
Chongwe Patriotic Front Member of Parliament Sylvia Masewo has been expelled from the ruling party. Ms. Masewo has been expelled for misconduct and indiscipline and for bringing the name of the party and that of the party president into disrepute. Ms. Masewo openly campaigned for an opposition presidential candidate while serving as a member of the Patriotic Front. President Edgar Lungu has since notified Ms. Masewo of her expulsion from the PF in a letter addressed to Ms. Masewo. The Speaker of the National Assembly has also been notified of Ms. Masewo's expulsion from the Patriotic Front. President Edgar Lungu's letter to Ms. Masewo has been copied to PF Secretary General Davis Chama, and a PF Acting Disciplinary Committee Chairperson Tutwanguluwe has confirmed Ms. Masewo's expulsion from the Patriotic Front. President Edgar Lungu has appointed and sworn in a former MMD Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Lucky Mulusa as State House Special Assistant for Project Monitoring and Implementation. President Lungu also appointed and saw in Daniel Suo and Flateram Siska as his private secretaries. And speaking to journalists shortly after he was sworn in, Mr. Mulusa said he was humbled by the appointment by President Lungu. He says his appointment is all about serving the Zambian people and harnessing their skills and making sure that the challenges faced in the implementation of the budget are dealt with. Mr. Mulusa adds that every year there are challenges in ministries finishing their projects and yet claiming that they are underfunded. We now take our first break. Join us for other interesting stories coming up after this.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back, and now other stories. Newly elected Lusaka mayor has pledged to continue works on Simon Mwelwa Lane for the relocation of street vendors in the city. Speaking shortly after his election as mayor, George Nyendwa says there is need to quickly finish up the works on the lane that will see all street vendors being moved to designated places. The newly elected mayor went unopposed as he was the only one who filed in his nomination. Before his election, the mayor
mayor has been serving as councillor for Chaisa Ward 2 in Mandevu constituency, and he takes over from Mlenga Sata. And a former mayor, Mlenga Sata, has congratulated the newly elected mayor, saying he will be able to serve the people of Lusaka diligently as he has done in his constituency.
The sanitary facilities. So they are also, all the vendors are just waiting from us as Lusaka City Council to finish off the paving, then we put them there. We are taking all the vendors in Lumumba Road, Chachacha Road, Cairo Road, they will fit on that lane. And we are providing our sanitary facilities there.
So I'd like to congratulate him and pledge my full support to him as we continue to try to improve the situation.
Mazabuka Member of Parliament Gary Nkombo has denied having insulted Information Minister Chishimba Kambwili in Parliament. Mr. Nkombo says he is not aware that the Speaker of the National Assembly wants to suspend him following his statement in Parliament. He adds that Parliament is the ultimate body mandated to take action on any matter regarding the alleged insult to Mr. Kambwili. Mr. Nkombo says the Parliamentary Committee had a sitting with him and they are yet to bring the matter to its logical conclusion. He was speaking in an interview with Prime TV in Lusaka. Mr. Nkombo stressed that there is need to ensure that Parliament looks at the matter than allowing people to comment without proper information on the matter.
Well, first of all, I'm not aware about that likelihood of suspension from Parliament. It's coming to me as news. And I'm hearing it for the first time that I'm likely to be suspended. There is an issue in Parliament that is a little bit immature to discuss at the moment, but in due course of the week, probably next week, within the course of the week coming, I'm sure it's a matter that will be settled completely. But I am very sure in my mind that whatever the case may be, it will not amount to what they're saying. I'm not standing by anything, any falsehood. It's untrue about Chishimba Kambwili, because Chishimba Kambwili was not even in Parliament on the material day.
Young African Leaders Initiative YALI has appealed to President Edgar Lungu to moderately exercise his powers and control of security forces by avoiding issuing directives to arrest political rivals. YALI governance advisor Isaac Mwanza says the directive to the police to investigate opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema and his eventual arrest will dent the good image of the president. Mr. Mwanza adds that if the president found the statement by the UPND leader offensive, he should have done some personal reflection on why the entire police command had not acted or moved in to enforce the law against Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. He says if Mr. Lungu found Mr. Hichilema's statement bad, he should have put his house in order and not directing who should be investigated or arrested. I beg your pardon. The police have moved in to investigate Mr. Hichilema, and he says this will also send a wrong signal about the status of the president. Forum for Democracy and Development FDD has charged that the police need to conduct its business in an independent and professional manner without the interference of anyone, including President Edgar Lungu. FDD spokesperson Antonio Mwanza says it is not the job of President Edgar Lungu to do police work because officers in uniform are trained to carry out investigations. He says those that have been charged with the responsibility of keeping state secrets have sworn an oath of secrecy which clearly outlines punitive measures which those who abrogate the oath should suffer. Mr. Mwanza says the onus is on the government to punish erring officials and to establish why OP officers are leaking classified information to an ordinary citizen, not to the president. He says President Edgar Lungu's directive to investigate UPND leader President Hakainde Hichilema is abusive of his office and should not be tolerated. A Zambian student studying in Algeria under the Zambia-Algeria government scholarship scheme has died in Algeria. The student, who has been identified as Bernard Mumbi, was in his first year in Annaba estate in Algeria. Bernard had complained of not feeling well on the 21st of February 2015, had decided to travel from Annaba State to Algiers, where his cousin is based. The student is believed to have not reached the cousin's place, as he was expected to reach at around 23 hours Zambian time, but did not. The Zambian embassy in Cairo and the bursaries committee were informed about the development on Sunday and commenced search of the student. This was disclosed by Foreign Affairs Minister during a press briefing by the Permanent Secretary, George Zulu. We are now taking our second break. Join us for other interesting stories coming up.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Welcome back now in foreign news. A prominent constitutional lawyer has died after being shot outside a cafe in the Mozambican capital, Maputo. Guido Sistak, a French origin, was a central figure in a sensitive debate about the autonomy of Mozambique's provinces and decentralization power. He said that such a move, a demand of the opposition Renamo party, would be constitutional. Maputo Central Hospital Director Joao Fumani said Mr. Sistak died after 4 hours of surgery. And finally, in our news, a Canadian pastor who has reportedly gone missing in North Korea was invited to the capital Pyongyang just before his disappearance, the head of a South Korean Christian missionary organization has said. Reverend Chung King-wong, the director of Duri Hana, which helps North Korean refugees, said Reverend Ryo Su-lin was one of the most influential Christian missionaries operating in the North. Lim, a member of the Light Korean Presbyterian Church in Toronto, has 31st, just after Korea via China, according to media reports in Canada and South Korea. The 60-year-old Lim had led many aid missionaries
Iraq's army has launched a major offensive to retake Saddam Hussein's hometown of Tikrit from ISIL. Jane Araf has more from Baghdad.
This is one of the big military operations that will proceed, take back Mosul, which is still a long way to come. In this one, there are a combination of, there's U.S. air support, Sunni tribal fighters, Shia militias backed by Iran, and of course the Iraqi military.
ISIL has freed 21 Assyrian Christians. Some of those freed were welcomed at a church in Hasaka city. ISIL is still holding captive more than 200 people from the minority community in Syria. Some senior Democrats, including Vice President Joe Biden, are threatening to boycott Benjamin Netanyahu's speech to the U.S. Congress. Israel's Prime Minister arrived in Washington on Sunday. He's expected to argue against any nuclear deal with Iran. Protests are taking place in the South Korean capital after North Korea fired 2 short-range missiles. South Korea's military say they've landed in the sea. North Korea carried out the test hours before the US, and South Korea start joint military exercises. A bomb blast in Egypt's southern city of Aswan has killed 2 people. At least 5 others were injured, including a soldier. The bomb went off near a police station. It's unclear at this stage who is behind the attack. Tens of thousands of Russians have marched in Moscow to mourn the death of opposition leader Boris Nemtsov. The Kremlin critic was killed in a drive-by shooting on Friday. It was one of the biggest demonstrations in the capital since protests against President Vladimir Putin 4 years ago. Rescue teams in Afghanistan were able to reach some remote villages on Sunday after a massive avalanche. Bulldozers and other machinery have been clearing roads cut off for almost a week. In Abdullah Khel, one of the villages hit by the avalanche, villagers dug snow from under crushed houses in the search for bodies. Local people say 22 people have been killed and 4 wounded.
Welcome back, and now as we conclude the news, we now take a look at what made the headlines. State security officers find nothing after searching Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's house. Sylvia Masewo has been expelled from Patriotic Front PF. George Nyendwa is Lusaka's new mayor. And in foreign news, Mozambique lawyer Gil Sistak assassinated in Maputo. And that's just what we had on the news. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Daniel Tonga, and bye-bye for now.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free, so let's chill. Have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.